Rule 90, Distribution and Partition of the Estate. Section 1. When order for distribution of residue made. When the debts, funeral charges, and expenses of administration, the allowance to the widow, and inheritance tax, if any, chargeable to the estate in accordance with law, have been paid, the court, on the application of the executor or administrator, or of a person interested in the estate, and after hearing upon notice, shall assign the residue of the estate to the persons entitled to the same, naming them and the proportions or parts to which each is entitled, and such persons may demand and recover their respective shares from the executor or administrator, or any other person having the same in his possession. If there is a controversy before the court as to who are the lawful heirs of the deceased person, or as the distributive shares to which each person is entitled under the law, the controversy shall be heard and decided as in ordinary cases. No distribution shall be allowed until the payment of the obligations above mentioned has been made or provided for, unless the distributees or any of them give a bond in a sum to be fixed by the court, conditioned for the payment of said obligations within such time as the court directs. Rule 90, Section 2. Questions as to advancement to be determined. Questions as to advancement made or alleged to have been made by the deceased to any heir may be heard and determined by the court having jurisdiction of the estate proceedings, and the final order of the court thereon shall be binding on the person raising the questions and on the heir. Rule 90, Section 3. By whom expenses of partition paid. If at the time of distribution the executor or administrator has retained sufficient effects in his hands, which may be lawfully be applied for the expenses of partition of the properties distributed, such expenses of partition may be paid by such executor or administrator when it appears equitable to the court, and not inconsistent with the intention of the testator. Otherwise, they shall be paid by the parties in proportion to their respective shares or interests in the premises, and the apportionment shall be settled and allowed by the court. And if any person interested in the partition does not pay his proportion or share, the court may issue an execution in the name of the executor or administrator against the party not paying the sum assessed. Rule 90, Section 4. Recording the order of partition of estate. Certified copies of final orders and judgments of the court relating to the real estate or the partition thereof shall be recorded in the registry of deeds of the province where the property is situated.